I'm waiting for everybody to kind of joining in. I want to just cover some of the things that we talked about the last two IG Live. This is our third one. So the first one was talking about building your lifetime brand. And so the second one was about connecting with your audience, right? Now, all of those, if you want to catch up with some of those recordings, they are inside the Blooming Aces YouTube channel that you can find in my link in bio, okay? And in there you can see all of my podcast episodes, as well as all the IG Live event recording, in case you want to catch up and learn a few things about what you missed before, which I think is very important. If you are building a brand, or not even building a brand, you as a person, actually you are a brand, whether you realize it or not. For example, like if you are a brand, I mean, you're a person that's like, you haven't started a brand yet, you know, think about like how many friends that you have and how do they know you, you know, what do they know you by? It's probably some of your personality, maybe you're fun, or you are like very creative, or sometimes you are like the defender of everybody, you know. So I think it's without realizing that you are actually already building a brand, which I call the character branding. Hey Ryan, how are you? We're just getting started here. Thanks for joining. And so we're just waiting for people to hop in. I kind of got started like about 2 minutes ago, so I'm just going to give a little time, if you don't mind. I'm just recapping what we discussed from the last 2 weeks. So basically, if everybody wanna, if they miss, you guys missed like some of the stuff from last week, you want to, good afternoon. Yeah, so if you want to catch up on those, the link to my YouTube channel is inside my link on bio, and basically you go to like the podcast episodes, and in there is like an IG Live recording for the last two. The first one was the what we call building your lifetime brand, and the last time that we met, we discussed about connecting with your audience, right? So all right, I'm gonna get started since you're here, Ryan, and also we are waiting for more people, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of intro. So I'm a brand expert and growth action coach. I'm also an inspiration junkie and foodie mom, and as a founder of Blooming Aces. Oh yeah, with social media awareness branding. Yes, correct, exactly. You know, branding is actually a lot. You know, branding is like, to me, it's like a bigger word that if you really want to pare it down to what it is, it's basically, it's how you present yourself. You know, branding is about how to present yourself. That's true to how you want to come off to people, right? And as I mentioned before on my previous IG Live event, your brand actually doesn't really exist until you have your audience. You know, you have the audience to understand what exactly that you stand for. You see, so it's not just like a one passive thing. It's an active type of efforts to do branding, right? To branding correctly, it should be. Some people, I think, get it backward, and I actually learned it backward too. So like for example, like you start like designing a label, or you start designing a logo, right? But without realizing who are you designing for. Sometimes people like designing for themselves, right? That's okay, you know. And then if they really get in touch with their self, that is a good thing, you know. So they only need to just stay true to who they are, and then you create branding based on what you love, what you feel strongly about. And if you're mission driven, that's even better. But if you, for example, like not necessarily super in touch with yourself, and you created branding based on what you like, that's a little bit dangerous, to be honest with you, because then you start basically creating something that you think people want, you know what I mean? Instead of really understanding what people want, you see? And so this is kind of like why I want to discuss about this. I'm actually writing a book about what do you call your brand simplified, your branding simplified. And I want to kind of break it down, some of this definition of branding, marketing, sales, and it's basically something that's simple, like simpler than that. And it's not as obvious as you think, because there are a lot of layers in how to execute those elements, right? And however, as a founder, I believe that you should own this vision. Like, you'll be the one that holding the torch, okay? You'll be the one holding the torch of your vision, your purpose, and also your passion, right? And for you to do that, I think you have to understand how you have to stay up here. Like when you are prioritizing your day and your branding efforts or your business efforts, you are like the head of the brand. You are the one that should be overseeing and orchestrating like how everything goes, right? And instead of getting like lost in the weeds, I should say, getting lost in the weeds, and then so that's kind of like, I have a list here I want to kind of go over. And the first thing that I want to talk about is mindset and intention. I think that whatever it is that you do in life or in business, you should start with that. You should start with creating the right mindset and intention. I'm gonna use notes because I have a few pointers. I want to make sure the flow is done right, and that I can deliver this content to you. Hopefully, makes sense. And feel free to, as I'm talking to going through my list here, if you have any question or comments, feel free, okay, to put in there. And then hello, thank you for joining. We just got started about brand the right way and how to promote. Again, my name is Erna Blooms. Thanks for joining. We are talking about your brand simplified, and we just talk about how to build the right brand. Is good. Thank you for asking. How are you? Where are you located? Feel free to text any question or anything that you would like to ask about branding. Is that your friend Ryan? Thank you for inviting Joe. So hey Joe. Oh, New York, cool, awesome. So you guys neighbors or what? When Ryan's not traveling? Probably, huh? So yeah, so start looking. So maybe backtrack for Joe real quick here. So if you're building a brand, right? You are like the founder or like the owner of the brand. Now you have to understand that there's a lot of things that you have to do to build a lifetime brand for long term, right? To do that, you have to understand that your role should be the one that holding the torch of your vision, purpose, and also your passion, your brand passion, right? Now, so a lot of time that I've noticed is based on my experience working with a lot of entrepreneurs, and I understand, sometimes when you're building a business, it's really hard, and there's a lot of investment needs to be made, and then you tend to do a lot of DIY. I did it too, right? And then at the same time, when you're doing a lot of that, it's great if you're the type of person that can, really stay focused on the vision and everything. But not a lot of people can stay up here. They end up like going down here, and then lost in the weeds. And suddenly they feel burnout because they're like, what am I doing now? But I'm already invested a lot into my business and brand, and suddenly like, what am I doing? So this is why I think I want to kind of remind everybody that don't forget always, every day, when you get up, you have to set the intention, right? You as a founder, you have to keep that torch, keep the mission. I sometimes I put like goals on my walls, or sometimes, on your book, if you have or on your phone even, something that you look every day to remind you why you do what you do, okay? So keep your, torch alive, because that's what you want to carry on when you're building this brand, and that's what attract your audience to you. Okay. Now the first thing I want to talk about is why you start your brand and business. And of course, when you talk about business, you say, "Oh, because I want to make money." Sure, that's a given, right? Money is a given. If you build the right business model, it's gonna come. But the thing is, I believe that underneath all that, each one of us is longing for a couple things. For example, impact. Hey Zizu, how are you? Welcome back. Hope you're feeling better. I know he's a little sick. So yeah, we just got started about mindset and intention. So Ryan's here, Joe's here, say hi to each other. So yeah, so we're talking about, this is, by the way, for Joe, if this is your first time here, this is our third one discussing about branding and connecting with audience, how to build a lifetime brand, not just like a brand that you just create and like last for like a year, unless that's what you're making, but that's kind of rare. So I think the main thing is you want to start with the mindset and intention. And so why you want to start your brand and business, not just because of the money, but it's because of impact and connection. I actually, I started in corporate world and I was there for like 15 years, right? And I started as a graphic designer, but I always wanted to be an art director. And so I had to basically work hard to get there. And but at the end of the day, I was able to figure out how to connect with my supervisor, my team member, everything. So I was able to move up the ladder consistently to like creative director at the end of my career, and got like consistent raises like each year when the company is doing well, of course, and but at the end of the day, I realized, hey Jacqueline, thanks for joining again. Welcome back. So basically when I was at corporate world, I realized that the owner was focusing more on like the status, the money, and that's okay, as long as you still remember like why you were successful to begin with when you begin that business, right? And so I want to say, like, I think a lot of people start their business because they want to build something that's create impact, or create connection. It's part of their identity as a person to have a purpose, right? So to me, like, if you start with that, that's gonna make your business and brand unique to you, okay? So instead of you having this like shiny object syndrome where it's like, oh my gosh, the competitor is doing this, I'm gonna be doing this, I like this analogy, the story that Simon Sinek actually shared about Apple versus I think Microsoft, where in Apple conference they always talk about how they want to help individuals to succeed with their whatever it is they're creating, so their mindset is always the intention of giving value or innovation to improve people's life or empower people to be able to do more, to impact even more in their space, but in Microsoft it's all about beating Apple, which is the competition. And so they don't have this like this is why I'm a big Apple fan, especially when Steve Jobs is around, because he has this strong belief about that, and it's very clear. Like his vision is clear. He might not be like the nicest, friendliest guy to some people, but I do appreciate the fact that he's very clear on his vision, and we have that choice to like believe in that or not. Same thing with Oprah, right? Or Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King doesn't have a business, but he has a vision, right? And he has that passion and dream. So Oprah, she also has the aspiration. She is very empowering, and she can be doing anything. People would buy into it. That's, to me, that space is called character branding, right? Character branding to me is huge. This is something that I really would like to teach more of, and I'm writing a book about it. I want to make sure that it's not overlooked, right? And so you want to ask yourself why you create your brand and business. What is the impact? What are you giving to the person? Let's say if you were to give someone next to you, just one person, what is that? Now capture that. If does that fulfill you, right? If that fulfill you, double down on that. Maybe 2 people, 3 people. Then those people gonna, once they get something value, automatically, think about it, automatically, right? That is, so Jacqueline said, that is right, and what I'm about. Yes, exactly, Jacqueline. Yeah, she's a Pilates instructor. Amazing. Hello, thanks for joining. Welcome. Yeah, so if you start with that, the money thing, it's gonna up and down. Trust me on that. Okay, because I've been in my own business for like 5 years after I left corporate world, and I realized that in corporate world I was building someone else's business, and I have no problem with that. I'm really good as being a team member. But what I make me realize is when I'm helping people that's like maybe not necessarily aligned with their core value, at the end of the day, it's not gonna last. Okay, so the upper management change, and at that time, like, it's gonna put the integrity down, and I just like feel like I don't belong there anymore. So I decided to leave, and then a few months after I left, the company shut down. Okay, so I just saw it coming. It's just not gonna last, And the thing is, what I realized that after 15 years, I was working through like the same management, by the way, through 3 different company names, because they've been bought by another company, and then they got bought again by the company. So I was like with the same management, moving up the ladder, and I made 6-figure income, but before I left the corporate world. But at the end of my career, I realized I had to start all over just because an upper management messed it up. Okay, so that's basically the reality of life. You know, like when you're in corporation, you basically like you think you're comfortable, but actually you're less in control. Really less in control, you know, of your faith. So you know, like entrepreneurship is not easy and it's not for everybody. So I'm not really necessarily like saying don't go corporate. I will say find a good healthy corporation if you have to. If not, then, you know, if you feel that you have passion, your vision that's bigger than, you know, the corporation that you belong to, then build your own, make your own path, right? So pave your path for your people. And I'm here for those people, actually. Those entrepreneurs that have vision, you know, I really would love to support them. I'm passionate about innovation. I really love creativity and I love new challenges. So I am always like kind of the sparring partner, the partner, the creative partner for a lot of businesses and brands, because I just love to understand it from the upper level to all the way down. Like I can do like from the why, they call it the why level, all the way to the how, and then the what. The what is like the details. So I can go up and down like that. But the main thing is for item number 1 for mindset and intention is, you know why you start your brand and business. Give me 3 reasons why you think, you know, you want to start your brand, and what is it that you provide that differentiate yourself from the competition, right? Now, for example, if you have a restaurant, I'm using this example from Marie Forleo. I love her example where she said, you know, sometimes when you start a brand, you feel like, oh, someone already doing it, you know, right? Someone already doing it. And so then why do we have so many Italian? You still gonna go. They still have like, you know, if you have something unique about your recipe or the way you create, you know, customer experience, right? You know, for example, you know, if you go to a restaurant, you just love going there because the owner is so friendly. They always give this freebie, or they give you this like kind of welcoming, you know, like atmosphere, you know, and the food is great and the price is reasonable. You'll go there again, no matter, you know, like there's a fancier Italian place somewhere. You're not gonna go there because you felt that's you feel like home there, you know. So that's kind of like the feeling you want to create. It's like, how do you make your audience feel like home and they feel like this is your brand is part of their lifestyle, right? So think about that kind of stuff. Get into the detail of the emotional part of it, you know. How do you connect with them like that? Then the next thing is, you know, whether you're small, this is another mindset about you know, oh, you know, if you're a small business, oh yeah, I don't have enough money to hire these people and that people, you know, sure, this is why we're talking. You know, I want to make sure you understand how to build it yourself if you're still small and you still like need to do a lot of things yourself, right? But if you're a big business, learn it anyway. You should know about these things, you know, because that way you understand how to save money, right? If you don't need to spend it on a certain thing, don't spend it, you know, like if you need to spend it, you know, but you have to know what involved in like building a brand, right? So the next thing is sales, you know, sales, promoting, you know, social media, marketing, you know, there's so many different ways, right? And then all of those takes a lot of time and energy, you know, to do a lot of social media. I mean, you know, how many of you are like multiple platform? You know, if you like on multiple platform, you know, let me know if you have like one platform. If you have one platform, you know, what is it that you use, right? Let me know. You can drop it in the chat if you want. So all of this takes time and energy, right? So you want to have, hello, thanks for joining. And so when you're building, you know, your brand, you know, some like a big company, they said, oh yeah, we have to be like omnipresent. If you can, great. You know, but if you like small business and you want to be omnipresent, you know, that's gonna take a lot of time and your energy. Now, is that worth it? You have to ask that. You know, you can try and then you assess it. Then after that, you see like which one is actually bringing you more result, you know, more impact, more connection, right? So you have to analyze. You can try everything and then find your niche channel. Now, if you're still small, obviously you have to like really be very wise in choosing which channel. I think Ryan is actually to talk about this before. He mentioned that he's focusing on Instagram, right? So which is good idea. You know, I think it's better to do one channel well than to be omnipresent and like they're all over the place, because like it's gonna give confusing message unless if you can get consistent, because each one of this what they call a social media channel have its own type of target audience, right? And someone told me, actually, like a lot of people say, oh, you have to customize every single thing, you know, ideally, right? You have to customize every single thing, you know, into the in like plus a Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, all that stuff. And honestly, to me, you know, 1 degree it's true, you should customize that, you know. However, what if you're small, you know, and you don't have a lot of, like, you know, investment time or money or something like that, you know, what you can do? And to me, like, it's okay for me to, like, you start with something same, you know. However, you need to understand which, you don't like blast out every single message to like every single channel, you know, but it has to be, you know, you have to be thoughtful, to be mindful about why you're sharing at LinkedIn, you know, why are you sharing at Twitter or Instagram, you know. So you have to kind of be understanding, like, about, number one, what are you trying to say, right? You're trying to say to your friend, you know, you have some friends that maybe like a little bit more into, let's say, sports, you know, and then the other one is into food, you know. You don't want to be talking about food to your sports person that's like trying to be fit and everything. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. But if, you know, if you're trying to talk to people that's foodie, and then you keep saying, like, you know, oh, don't eat this, don't eat that, you know, they're gonna like run away, right? They're not gonna like forget about you. So that's kind of like how promotion is like, you know. You have to understand who you're talking to and cater to them, right? It's all about logic here, you know, and then caring, you know, about the person, right? So to me, like, that's the kind of thing that you have to think about when you're choosing the social media. Okay, the one thing that I want to make sure that you get this for this time is building the right brand foundation, okay, before you spend the investment going down the wrong path. Why did I say that? So, for example, like, there's so many, okay, I have met so many social media experts, right? Some of them are focusing on video, some of them focusing on motion graphics, some of them focusing on like Facebook ad. There's so many different things, okay? Now, if you are a product brand, right, your product brand, I think, you know, depend on your product, I think it's a good idea for you to invest into Facebook ads, but you have to understand, you know, how to target it. Now, I love to learn new things, right? I love to learn new things. Hello, thanks for joining. So yeah, I love to learn new things. So I will be buying like all these mini courses and everything. I'm just curious. I learned about Pinterest, I learned about Facebook ad. I went to Chicago to like learn about like this ClickFunnels or whatever. I didn't even know that they were teaching that. But I always like to put myself in front of a lot of knowledge, okay? So, because I'm just a curious person and I always like to grow. Heck, you know, that's, in case some of you doesn't know, like, I'm actually a brand expert and growth action coach. And so I did not realize that that is my passion until like last year, okay? So this has been like a journey for me too. And this is why I'm very passionate to actually teach you guys to, you know, kind of speed up that process, to expedite you to get to like that what do you call it, your superpower. In case you don't know what the superpower is, I'm gonna mention it again. So your superpower consists of 3 things. If you know what that is, you can, if you've been here, you can like hop in and I'll like shout out for you. If anybody knows the 3 superpower, you know, what it consists of? 3 things. Number 1, it's your why, right? Your purpose. Number 2, it's your expertise, which is, I call it the passion expertise, because there's a lot of expertise you can have, you know, but the one that you're passionate about. Number 3, it's your legacy. How you like to be, what is it that you like to be known for, right? And yeah, and then what is it that, you know, you like to leave behind, you know, for your community after you pass. So those are 3. If you know this clarity, you know, you will know your superpower. And this actually gonna take me into the next thing. I'm gonna skip one thing. Actually, I have one thing that I want to talk about in a sec, but the one thing that I want to talk about is, you know, when you're building a brand, I think you also, I'm not sure if you can get out of this one, because I think you should create this culture, right? You have to create culture and community of giving and supporting each other, okay? Now, especially as entrepreneurs. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have experience where, yeah, yeah, Ryan, you're gonna be on my hot seat soon about superpower evaluation for sure. It's gonna be fun. I'm actually curious too, Ryan. I sent Ryan some questionnaires because he is part of one of my program recently. He just signed on, so I'm very excited to dive in for him. And so the culture, creating your community, whatever is your brand, creating community. So if you're like a one person, you don't have a brand, you don't have a business, look, you are actually a brand too. Okay, you as a person, your character is your brand, right? People will, you know, if you have friends, especially a lot of friends, they know you for something. Either you must be fun, you know, or you're a giving person, you're helpful, you're the guy that they call, you know, hey, I have a party, you know, or you're the guy that's like, hey, if I'm moving, can you come and help me? So what is it that people call you for? Right? So you have your own brand. People know you. Basically, you know, a brand is like when people know you by ... you have a brand. Okay, that's a personal brand. Yes, your character branding. Okay, and also that could be your what do you call you have that community. Great, yeah. So your community, I think, is very important when you're building a brand or a business, or even a circle of friends. You know, circle of impact. You know, if you're like nonprofit, you can still have community, right? Now, community is something that's it's really wonderful. I actually love. My purpose is connecting with people, so I think building a community is my thing. But I think as a brand, you have to build that community of giving and supporting each other. You know, have you heard like sometimes like people say, "Oh my gosh, someone, you know, steal my my idea," you know, like, oh, someone is cheating, and then, you know, or someone is like, there's like this, or there's some jealousy going on, or, you know, like the unhealthy competition, I call it, you know. So I would like to clarify this one here. When there is a fear of competition, okay, there should be a trigger to yourself or to this person that there is an insecurity in themselves, or lack of clarity of their own worth, of their own superpower. Okay, because if you know your superpower, you're clear. Okay, you will not have that. Okay, now if you're in a journey on still finding that out, that's okay. So I'm going to give you one analogy that I've shared before, which is like, I view everyone, you know, as part of this gigantic world puzzles. Okay, like imagine like a world puzzle, thousands, millions of world puzzles. Okay, now each one of us is a little piece of the puzzle. Okay, now this little puzzle, you know, each puzzle has those like, you know, bumps, right? Bumps and like dips, you know. So those are unique shape. Each puzzle piece is unique, and that's what make the world puzzle is fun. Okay, because if it's all the same, it's pretty boring, you know, because we know everybody's like just lined up like an army. You know, that's like that boring. So I believe the universe, or I call it God, right? You know, so I think he's having fun with us. You know, where are we gonna put it? So I happen to have this passion and gift to help people see this piece. Okay, where are you, you know, what is your puzzle piece here? Where is your expertise? You know, all these bumps, you know, that's basically like, once you know all those, right, then you know where to put yourself in, like where do you fit in, you know. And you will have people around you that have similar pieces that click with you, right? But you're not meant to click in every single part of the world puzzle. Does that make sense? Now, the main thing, the reason why I want to bring this up is you know how a puzzle is flat, right? So to me, I see everyone, wherever you're at in your journey, is like equal. Okay, and whether you see it or not, you know, that's your work that you have to do. Okay, so but I think everybody's like equal. They have the same like playing field. Well, if you said, oh, you know, but I was born with you know, like something, the sub disadvantage, let's just say, okay, and I will say, yeah, you know, true, you know, but at the same time, you know, puzzle, sometimes there is a bump one that is like going out like this, some of them going in. Maybe that's your disadvantage. But it is something that to me is very interesting. Is even the piece that have all going in could fit somewhere, right? Could fit somewhere. Whether you can be a team member, okay? You can help other people, you know? There is a value of what you can give. And this is the work that we all have to do, is to discover and honor who we are, right? And let that shine and be the best we can. So to me, like, if you know, what is your purpose in life, how do you fit in, how your puzzle fit in with other people surrounding your superpower, that to me is when all of this like negative energy gonna like be minimized. I mean, the negative energy is actually sometimes good. There's always good, like there's a yin and yang, right? There's always that, two sides of the energy that you cannot completely get rid of. That's just unrealistic, and actually not fun, you know, because sometimes like, have you ever, I mean, I don't know how many guys here, I think mostly guys, right? When you're dating, okay, think about it. When you're dating a woman, right? So you have this wonderful lady, okay? And at first you were chasing her, right? Now, isn't that more like fun, you know, when you're trying to chase her, right? So it was like challenging. And then like when suddenly like you get together and suddenly it's become like super angelic, like there's no more chase. Everything is like so perfect, happy. There's no like tension, nothing. Do you think that's interesting? I think it's pretty boring, you know? And you might actually lose interest and like start like wondering, I don't know. I don't know how you are, okay? But I'm just saying that sometimes there is this fun when there's like a little challenges here and there, because when you find the challenges, sometimes it's actually give you this calibration about yourself, how you come off, right? Even with kids, for example, my kids, you know, as they're growing up, I see myself in them, you know, the good and the bad and the ugly. So all of those, it reflected back on me. I was like, oh my gosh, I never see it that way. And then it still make me realize about my relationship, you know, with my parents. Okay. Oh my gosh, when I was little, I guess I was like that. And then I said sorry to my mom, like recently. So anyway, so yeah, basically, sometimes, you know, challenges, you know, things like that, it's okay to have, right? But I want to make sure that you are not getting, like, you're not giving your power away towards those negative energy for a long time. Okay, you can give it like for a couple hours, you know, if that's, you know, kind of balancing your chakra, you know, it's fine, you know. But I think, you know, you have to realize that, you know, sometimes what I don't want you to feel is like being unhappy. I'm like all about, you know, trying to get to this state of mind of happiness, peace of mind, and fulfillment, you know. And you have it in you, right? We just have to like learn how to draw it off ourselves. And sometimes we need other people. This is why you build your community, because sometimes there are times then where you feel you need someone to be there, you know, to either listen, to kind of, you know, cheer you on, right? And to believe in you. I had those moments. I'm a pretty positive person for the most part. However, during COVID, I had my deep, you know, like the moment when I felt like, I don't know, you know, like I was like, and then my sister said, hey, you'll be okay. You know, you're Erna. Okay, you'll figure it out. And then the moment she said that, it took her to say that, you know, for me to like, oh yeah, it's not that bad. I'm still alive. I'm still healthy. You know, it's like, what am I doing? You know, so then I start doing my game plan. But sometimes I have a best friend, you know, named Cindy, and she's like, she always like we were very close and in like spirituality, like, you know, personal development. But at the same time, like, she will help see my strength and I help her see her strength, you know. So in some way, like, I think that's what friends are for. That's what communities are for. You are each have your own strength and weaknesses, and we fill each other's gap, right? So I think this is why I feel like building a brand, building a business, you need the culture of giving and supporting each other. Now I also, so the fifth item is on this mindset and intention. Just so you know, by the way, I'm gonna be recording this, and then I'm gonna put it on the my Blooming Aces YouTube channel. So the link is in my bio if you want to follow, you know, my podcast and my IG live event recording. Normally I post it the following week, so you can catch up or replay it in case you catch something else, you know. It's in there, okay? It's a link my own bio. It's like, it says like podcast, all podcast episode. You just click there and then you can follow, subscribe, so that you can, you know, follow the rest of my activities. We have a lot rolling up. So let's see. Cool, yeah, check it out, Joe. Yeah, so I want to share my experiences about backward branding. Backward branding, I've seen enough of it, and I feel that I want to address that right now. Okay, so what is backward branding? Like, you know, like sometimes like people start without knowing what is it they're building. You know, they just start selling something, or I did the same mistake. So everything I'm sharing with you is based on my learning curve, or I'm learning it from someone who's sharing with me, and, you know, or like we cross, you know, reference each other. So I'm sharing with you based on like real experience, you know. So when you start selling something, you start making money, you know, you say, oh my gosh, great, you know, people are buying my stuff, right? I'm gonna create something else, you know, and then you go on with that, which is good, really good. Okay, so I think that is, you want to test your market and see if there is a need there. And then when people start buying your stuff, that means there's a need there. That's the time for you to start thinking, okay, how do I do my branding the right way? Okay, so Actually, Ryan, you're at the right spot here. When we're talking about this, is like you're at the right moment because you're ready to do this. So basically, what you want to do is really deep dive on yourself. Because when I come, I have clients where I come. Multiple clients come to me. It's like, oh, I need a label, or I need a logo, or I need a box. And then suddenly like I created them and then did a good job, and then like they love it, and then suddenly it's like, for example, if someone like asking for like, oh, I want to create this tiny packaging, and then I did it, right? And then the next thing they know, they told me it's like this, oh, maybe I should have a logo, huh? I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, so I kind of like, this is like based on my experience, like I said, I have like learned a lot as like, from graphic design to like branding expert now, where like I need to tell them they need a logo, and even I already told them like when we start the logo, I said, before I start the logo, can you make sure you trademark this name? Okay. And then they said, oh yeah, we're in the process. Okay, we're in the process. I'm like, okay, cool. So I start designing, all done, everything, and then I was building a website. Guess what? When I start building a website, they said, oh, my trademark name has issue. Oh my gosh, so that means he just wasted the logo and everything. So that's called backward branding. Okay, so starting from now, like from that, like experiences, I feel like I'm gonna curate this whole thing the right way. So the first thing is I always create something. I always have this coaching, brand your purpose kind of thing. Brand your purpose and business growth coaching part combined with the branding side. Sometimes the branding start after you find this discovery of clarity of your superpower and your brand mission and everything. Okay, because that's the right way to do it. So you're more efficient as you move forward. You don't keep going back and forth, So yeah, so you have to clarify the foundation of what you're building first. Okay. Hello, thanks for joining. All right, so remember that. Now we have to make sure that start with clarity question. I'm gonna put together something in my email list. I'm building something new, okay, and I'm gonna share with you in a bit. But there's a lot of things I'm gonna roll out this year because I've been like doing a lot of business with like just designing and then coaching like that. But I want to actually provide some of my knowledge into like smaller packages that people can like really utilize immediately, like smaller like action steps that you guys can help yourself to do. And then if you need like bigger help, I can help you be there, because I only have 24/7 like you guys, and I need to be very efficient. And this is why I'm teaching you to be efficient in your business as well, because you have a lot of gift, and there are a lot of people need your stuff, needs a piece of you, I should say, and then you need to understand which way is the best way to maximize certain gift, certain roles, So some knowledge I can put it maybe, on podcasts, right? That's like, it's always available, or like it's IG Live, like more people can show up, or I'm actually putting together a retreat. Now, I'm putting together a retreat, and then Ryan, actually since last Instagram live, he actually DM me. Thank you so much, Ryan. And he said my message resonated with his community. So we came up with an idea, and we're partnering on our first collaboration virtual pop-up retreat that's coming up in mid-April, and the announcement we're gonna post it tomorrow. So just watch out for that. Just so you know, we're gonna announce all the details tomorrow, and then if you have any questions, let us know, okay? But I just want to give you a heads up about that. That is gonna be called the Brand Your Purpose Virtual Retreat, where we're gonna dive in on like the framework on how to discover your superpower, how to build a lifetime brand, and connecting with your audience. And so yeah, so just stay tuned on that. Tomorrow we will announce. Now, how do you promote? So before that, I'm gonna recap this, okay? In case some of you are missing. Let's see, what is, hit that triangle lower. Oh, hit that triangle lower right. Invite your peeps to this live IG. Thank you, Ryan, for reminding. So just so you know, okay, I might have a lot of skills on like all, like the branding and things, but tech, a tech thing is something I could use help on. So, I have like team members that handles that, just so you know. But this IG live, I want to be like connecting with you guys, so I'm doing it myself. But yeah, tech definitely. They always remind me, okay, you know that you can do this. I'm like, oh great, noted, But Ryan, thank you. So yeah, so mindset. So I'm gonna recap this, okay? Mindset and intention. When you're building a brand, as the founder, as the owner, you should think about this. Number one, why? Understanding why you start your brand and business beyond just the money, okay? Think about what kind of impact and what kind of connection you're making. Your net worth is based on your network, right? So, two, whether you're small business or big business, if you can save money, in building it, why not? Okay, I'm not saying like don't invest. Okay, I'm saying is invest smartly by understanding some of this basic thing. So for example, I'm gonna give you an example. Am I gonna skip ahead here? Yeah. For example, like if you were thinking about publicity, okay, this has happened before. Publicity. Someone will say, a marketing firm will say like, oh yeah, if you want to be featured at Forbes, if you're featured by, this and that, right? You have to pay $25,000. Okay, or $15,000, whatever the number is. I have clients told me that they were told that way, and as a matter of fact, I know that is not true. Okay, so there is I have actually a publicity mentor that taught me this. Okay, that you can pitch to those media for free. Okay, for free. Now, if you want to learn how to do that, like I did, okay, so it's you go on. Okay, today we have this live watch party. Right after this, I'm gonna go there. It's at 2 o'clock. 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The link is in my bio. It's at the top. So you can just join that. Sign up for that link, and then I'll send you the. Right after this, I'm gonna see if anybody wants to go. I will email you. Okay, the link to that. The live watch party. This is where my publicity mentor is actually sharing her videos and all this information about publicity, and it's free. Okay, and also she's giving out some like a cool like fun prizes. So I'm gonna be there, and some of my peeps gonna be there too. So if you want to join, feel free to go over there right after this, and then sign up, and I'll give you guys the link and to join in. It's only 1 hour, so if you can go, great. Okay, and then so that's what I'm saying. You have to be smart. The way I see it, like, okay, do I want to pay marketing firm like $30,000, $25,000 to like feature me on this and that, or do I want to learn my lifetime skill, from this publicity mentor? Okay, so which is way less. Okay, so to me, like this one, I'm picking this one because like if I learn this one, guess what? At least I know how to better like I know how to scout the good marketing firm that knows their stuff. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be like kind of thinking about those kind of stuff, right? It's not like you're planning to do it all the time yourself. It's just understanding and being smart about how to scout the right team members and make sure you're not gonna get taken advantage of. Okay, let's see here. Oh, there's a trick to this. Okay, so there is sometimes when you're like scouting people, right, it's good to let them talk more, and then just pretend that you just have a clean slate, you don't know nothing, because sometimes maybe the information you got from previous one might not be even true, so you want to just like ask questions. If you want to learn something from someone, just ask them question and let them like explain, and you can see. This is why I like to kind of cross check, from what I know myself and what they're saying. If they match up with what I know to be true, right, then I know, okay, this is the right person. Because I have met with, I have interviewed people, and then like they come to me and then they start thinking that I don't know better. So they start telling me these lies. And then I'm like, okay, interesting. I know that was free, but then like you're saying this like that $50,000, so which is not true. But there's something that's probably true. It's like if you want to, don't worry about it, because they have built, that equity with the connection that they build with the, media. Maybe there's a value there. Okay, but you want to make sure that they're not just blowing smokes. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that they really have been featured. They really, my publicity mentor, Selena Sue, she is an introvert, let me tell you. Okay, introvert, the nicest, thoughtful person ever. Okay, she has been featured in Forbes, Entrepreneur, Marie Claire, bunch of podcasts. I found her from podcasts. So I know her method works, even though she's an introvert. Okay, so this is why I always like follow people that I like results, right? So I want to learn from people that actually bring results. And sometimes you make mistakes and it's like, oh my gosh, why did I even pay this? You learn. That's why you learn. You learn from your mistakes. So don't beat yourself too hard, right? It's part of life. Learning is part of life, not just entrepreneurs. So this is why I'm actually passionate about sharing some of my learning curves, so that you can save money and then fast track to you don't have to do that what do you call, spending the money and wasting it, so you can get the best for your investment and propel you forward faster than I did before, because there's nobody teaching me about this stuff, right? So all right, so what was that? Yeah, okay, so start your business. 2 is save your money if you can, and then being smart. Number 3, it's when you're choosing sales promotional channel, marketing channel, right? Make sure that it takes time and energy. Okay, time and energy. So you want to make sure you start with the right foundation. You don't want to keep redoing it. Invest the first time correctly and build it steady. Okay, build steadily. Okay, that's always better. My model is always like this, like a stair, not like what do you call a roller coaster. So yeah, like a stair, so you want to build it right, and then pick the channel, like make sure that you do it well. Find, you can try different channel and see which one actually bringing you the most fulfillment, the most audience, the most result in your business. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Of course. I will roll out even more. Like I'm putting together. I have so many projects. Like I'm putting together the list. I have 19 years of experience working with overseas supplier, local suppliers. So I'm putting that list together, right? And I actually want to make that available for you guys. Later on in my digital shop. I'm putting together digital stuff. I still haven't decided whether I want to put it into my program or I'm just gonna give it out as mailing list, so it could be something that's actually a freebie. So I have to figure out all of my resources and kind of make sure that it get to you guys at the right place, so that you actually implement it. Because sometimes when you give people freebie, it's actually it's not even good, because how many people get freebie and then they just toss it right? But when the moment you pay for it, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to use this. Okay, so that's why sometimes I don't like to give freebie because I will there's this little commitment they need to have, because then that's when actually I'm doing it not for me necessarily. I mean, of course it helped me when they pay me, but it helps them even more. Okay, so that's the reason why, sometimes when I charge certain amount of things, because I want to make sure that they are committed to themselves. Just so you know. Okay, so yeah, so your why, money, finding the right niche for your your channel, the connect. I call it, when I said marketing social media, I'm calling it your connecting channel. Okay, your customer dating channel. Pick your right channel. Okay, and then so you want to also learn to do it the proper way. Mindset about not doing backward branding by saying, oh yeah, I just want to play a label. At the end of the day, every single one of client need branding. Whether they say start with a label, whether start with something else, they always end up with the branding. So I just forget it. I'm just gonna put this package together because I know it's working. And every time people pop in on it, they use that one, they actually feel good, and I feel good. It's a good energy exchange, and I feel like we accomplish a lot together. And then the 5th thing, it's about building your culture of giving and supporting each other, right? And do you know, I'm gonna tangent a little bit about this. Do you know that sometimes when we're, I used to feel like, oh, so and so is so kind of overprotective or something, or whatever, right? I just realized that this is when the problem is not just them, okay? It's the community that we're raised in. This the culture, upbringing, our society is how it's built. This is really a big, and I feel that each one of us can start making that little, change in our community by creating this community that's giving and supporting each other. Imagine if the person, let's say they call it scarcity mindset. So we have abundant mindset and a scarcity mindset, right? Now, abundant mindset, a lot of time I notice that they are surrounded by people that they can trust, so they feel like they're giving. They have a lot, like that. Their cup is full. But some people that have like scarcity mentality is like they don't have enough. Either they have self insecurity, or like they don't grow up with people that's like giving, so they feel like they have to, grab onto whatever they got, so to me, like, it's not necessarily 100% their fault, although they should take accountability about that. But I think we as a human being, each one of us, as a fellow men and women, with each other, we need to kind of start be the one, that probably give that first, right? And if you cannot give in like financially or something, give you in a spirituality or emotional support or something, but at least give that safe space to the people around you, right? So because I think slowly we can change this scarcity mindset into abundance. I feel that if sometimes you feel good like when someone suddenly, oh my gosh, you did something really amazing, like you didn't expect it, right? Suddenly you feel like, I kind of want to give to someone, like it's this ripple effect that's wonderful, right? Each one teach one. Exactly. Skin in the game. Let's see. Facts. Yes. So yeah. So that's kind of like the mindset, intention, and then how to promote your brand business the right way. I pretty much touch on it in the other stuff that I talk about, right? Which is number one is setting the right intention to genuinely. I talked about it last time. Set the right intention to genuinely care about them. Them is your audience, your friends, okay, your team. Just genuinely care about them. Because once you have the right intention, everything else flow. Really, listen, and number two, listen and understand your audience and their needs, relating to what you can provide the best. Okay, and if you cannot provide the best, for example, like, oh, let's say I'm an expert in like social media, right? And then, but I'm good at this design thing. At least I have to be honest with them, say, hey, I'm not good at this, and this is all I know about this social media thing, and there is an expert for this. You want to go over there? I can recommend you, right? So sometimes this is the funny thing, when you actually let go and do the right thing for people is when those people are going to come back to you. Because why? Because there's trust level of your intention. Okay, that trust, it's what carry your brand along for a lifetime, right? That's what built your brand, trust. Think about it. Okay, so which brand? Think about what brand you consume right now. Whether it is clothing, okay, whether it is food, okay, whether it is tech gadget or whatever, brand. Think about it. What brand do you consistently consume till today? Why is that? Now, I ask this question all the time, by the way. So a lot of time people said because they give consistent experience. The quality is the same. You go to McDonald's, even though you don't like McDonald's, or let's just say El Pollo Loco or In-N-Out. Okay, In-N-Out. Okay, so because when I go there, I always get the same quality, and then it's simple but it's good. So there's that consistency. There's that trust level, right? You have to give consistent. So what is it in your brand that you can give consistently? So the best thing is, consistency. Correct. You have to know what is. You can be consistent of like, for example, Disney. I know like some of you might be not into Disney, but let's just use that as an example. Okay, so Disney, what is consistent about them? They're always about imagination, creativity, right? So the people that go there, they know that's what they're gonna get, so that's their thing, right? And then if you go to Apple, it's all about innovation, like the slick look, and then all this cool stuff, so there's a consistency in the innovation part, and that's that visual look, right? And then so you have to know. This is why I said listen and understand your audience and their needs relating to what you can provide the best. Okay, so you need to understand that part, and if you don't know it, don't be afraid to ask. Get some of your clientels, and to talk to them. I do. I did a survey once when I said, hey, if I were to give this, which one is the most pressing one for you? So I will ask them that, and then I always ask for testimonials, because that feedback's really, really gonna help me. Hey, Eddie, thanks for joining. Talking about branding here and promoting. And if you want to catch up on this, Eddie is my hip hop dance teacher. I miss you, Eddie, because since COVID we don't have the class anymore. So miss you guys. So this gonna be recorded and also put on the YouTube channel later. Okay, so you can catch up. So that's number three. Number three is focus your intention on bringing value and building that lasting supportive community, right? While, this is what's important part, while keeping your energy flow positive, okay? And then revenue will come, okay? And then you need to design that showcase your messaging, design messaging that showcase your brand mission and values, right? So here's the thing, a lot of time, like, you know, there are some of us that's like just give and give, right? They forgot to think about themselves, right? Now it's okay, like it's not, I'm not talking about thinking about like being paid necessarily, but I'm talking about the energy flow. How much you give that it still feel good to you, right? Thank you, Adi. Yeah, so right, think about that, you know. Sometimes some giving, you know, it could feel good, some giving feel like kind of draining. So you have to really ask yourself, you know, you can try different things, but then check with yourself, which one is it that you feel good? For example, like doing live show, like even I'm not getting paid to do this, right? I'm not. But you know what? This give me, like, you guys being here, being you guys, we're sharing about these ideas, and you guys are conversing with me. This to me is a good energy flow. So I'm doing it again, right? So, but if it doesn't feel good, you know, then I will not do it, you know? So don't be afraid to just stop something that doesn't really fit with what your, you know, authentic, you know, energy flow. It's fine, you know. Don't be afraid of someone saying like, oh, you know, she's just a quitter. I'm like, according to who? I don't think I'm a quitter. I'm just being authentic, you know. So it's like, you know, to me, I'm fine with that, you know. So you can control what people think about who you are, but you do want to listen to your audience. So, you know, who actually purchase your stuff, you know, who actually gonna you know, be on your journey to create this impact, this connection for long term. Those are the people you want to listen to, right? And I choose people that align with my core value and then really want the same thing. Like what do I want? Okay, I will like, my ideal thing is I will like to basically give people what I am giving to myself, which is a fulfilling business and a freedom lifestyle. Okay, freedom lifestyle. You know, let's just say if like someday, like one day, I have like a couple dip in my business where I felt like, oh my gosh, should I find another job? You know, like back to the corporate world, right? So, and I did apply, you know, like, and then you know what the funny things, the good news is I was staying true to myself, right? And I was like at the last two interviews, I was the candidate last two, but I wasn't like feeling it, you know, I wasn't feeling going back to corporate. I resisted, like internally I'm resisting going back to that. And I actually have like a set of clients that in the horizon, I'm like, I'm much rather doing that, you know? So I have this path in front of me, right? And then like, this is gonna make so much faster money right now, but I'm gonna get trapped in there for like 40 hours, you know, a week kind of thing, you know. So, and if I do that, I cannot build my dream and my vision, blah, 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 you know. So I decided, you know, I did not do, like, I think I self-sabotage myself during the interview. I didn't really oversell myself. I just like, you know, I just give them like vague answers on some stuff, and then, you know, they said like, okay, you know, so therefore they choose a different candidate. And then right after they said that, I'm like, yes, you know, I felt like relief for some reason. And then to me, like, that was a silly thing. I'm like, wow, I think I needed that moment. I needed that moment to allow myself to just have that last pass on being in the corporate world. And then I'm like, okay, this is my path. And the funny thing, right after that, my business actually grew, okay? Because like I'm not like half-assing myself, you know? So that's kind of like interesting, I thought, right? So I just want to let you go. Sometimes, you know, it's good to know where your energy flow, and I was just like really like on fire and helping like the entrepreneurs that I love to work with, you know, so that's my place. And whenever like someone mentions something about, you know, corporate world stuff, you know, I was like, oh, you know, really, now I'm very good at saying that that's not where I want to do. I used to be like wishy-washy about it. Now it's like, that is not really where I want to go, but I would love to help you build your corporation. You know, here's, you know, what I can do for you. Let me know what you need, you know, and if that's cool, let's do it, you know. Yeah, so number 4 is, after you focusing your intention, you know, as founder and owner, I said you are holding the torch of your vision, purpose, and passion, right? So do what you can to prioritize this in your daily role, right? Very important. Very important, because you don't want to get lost in all these like details, work, and then you forgot the passion, mission, all that, because you need to be the one reminding your team about that, right? So delegate. Now some of you already like starting to learn to delegate. I am too, right? You need to delegate the daily activities and tech stuff, right? I have to go. Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Joe, for joining. No problem at all. It's just about, we're about to wrap up, right? And I'm gonna hop onto that other thing at 2 o'clock, which is pretty soon. But I want to kind of close with this. So yeah, delegate the activities and to other, expert team, that you can afford, of course, and there's always a way. And then also, like, remember that you only have 24/7. So curate your lifestyle to give you the most fulfillment. Okay. So I'll be sharing some of this framework in my upcoming retreat that we're gonna announce tomorrow. And I just want to leave you one more quote that I have posted on my Instagram before, but I want to remind you again. It said, "It takes courage to believe in yourself," right? It takes courage to believe in yourself. So remember that, always listen to your gut feel and heart, and stay brave in believing your vision. Your vision is a God-given, and so you have to honor it, and you have to work for it, right? And if you feel it, you sleep on it and you get up, it's still the same thing, go for it. Okay, so so remember that tomorrow we're gonna announce about the retreat. Hopefully you guys can join us in April. And my next IG live is gonna be April 9th, 2 weeks from now, same ACE channel at 1 p.m. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining. Gotta run now. Really appreciate everybody being here. Talk to you soon.